right, so how's everybody doing today? All right, let's find some good items, completing those collections.
I'm just trying to stay awake.
Yeah, we're kind of running on fumes here, but
Yeah.
glad you guys could make it. I'm
Come on in, grab a seat.
known as Radical Reggie, but I'm Reggie,
Yeah. So I'm Josh Hamblin.
aka the Game Father.
Yeah. A buddy of mine started calling me Game Father, I don't know, last year, and it kind of stuck. So it's kind of gimmicky, but maybe roll with it a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, so a lot of you guys probably don't know me. I'm not on any special YouTube channels or anything like this guy over here. But I've been in the industry for probably 5 years now, and I actually got in the industry pretty much just to make a little extra cash on the side. And I was running a car business actually, and it just steadily started growing, and the passion for it continued to grow, and it just got bigger and bigger to the point where I had to make a decision on, do you want to have a car lot or have a game store basically. And so now I work from home. I sell a lot online on Facebook, all around the country, Canada.
Is Facebook what got you into it, kind of like the forums? And
Honestly, no. I originally started out with just local stuff and selling through like Amazon and eBay, and I was doing really well with it. It wasn't until probably maybe 18 months to 2 years ago that I started doing a little more social media. Because quite honestly, don't really enjoy social media. Seriously, it's a waste of time in a lot of aspects, right? You get on Facebook and just constantly interacting with people, which is nice, but all the ads and it's nonstop. And so, the good thing is the social media took off for me, and so I started a Facebook group, and I don't know, there's 2,200 members now. And it's a riot. I mean, we do a lot of freebies and auctions and selling, and it's a lot of fun. So it looks like that's what's going to stick.
Right. So does anybody here, know the difference between a reseller and a scalper?
I'm a reseller. He's a scalper.
Okay, I only saw.
Pretty simple.
I only saw 2 hands go up, so that's somewhat good because we can kind of explain that to you guys. A lot of times, resellers are put under because they're looked at as scalpers, and we want to kind of let you guys know that there's a big difference between them. Resellers are out to help you, and resell, but scalpers are quite different.
I mean, not always, right? I mean, we all know resellers that suck. I mean, let's be honest. But scalpers, typically, guys buying brand new product, new stuff, and flipping them for a profit. They'll go into the store and they'll have a shopping cart filled with classics or whatever, and they're scalping them. And you know what? If they want to do it, they want to do it. I try to avoid it because there's so much negative publicity around it. And quite honestly, the people that support them are the ones that are keeping it going. So be patient out there if you're trying to find something.
Yes.
Be patient, and you don't want to pay way over retail for it. Just be patient. And a lot of times the resellers and scalpers kind of get lumped together. I try to, run my business in a way that doesn't get stuck with all the other garbage that typically goes with it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually some of the best parts about reselling is making friends that are looking for stuff, and you can help find it for them.
Yeah, because a lot of the time, it's good to have that connection. If you know a reseller, and you're looking for something, let them know, and they're looking out for you. So now you have a better chance of finding a certain item you're looking for because that person's going to hit you up as soon as they find it. So that's really good for that.
It's too bad the term reseller just in itself kind of makes me cringe every time you say it. I always feel like it's an instant judge, right? I'm getting judged instantly.
Right.
The fact is there's a difference between the guy that's running an honest business, tests his stuff,
right?
Honors it, stands behind it, and the guy that's just, hey, garage sale dollar item, I want 100 for it. I don't know anything about it. I didn't test it. I don't guarantee it. You know, so there's a difference between a guy trying to make a living in an honest way and someone that's just in it for pure money.
Has anyone ever accused you of being
All the time. I mean, no, not scalping. I mean, because I've never scalped anything, but
does that kind of like take its toll on you?
not really. Like, I think part of the reason I've had some success in the business is I have the ability of just kind of leaving all the emotion out of it. I just let it roll off my back. I mean, everyone's going to have their opinion regardless of what I say. I mean, you guys come to the panel, you may or may not think of me or resellers differently. And I'm probably not going to change many opinions, but you know, it's just, you got to take the emotion out of it. I mean, some guys get really offended when they get accused of being like a reseller or scalper, and I just say, yeah, man, I do it the best I can, you know.
Cool.
I have people lined up at conventions waiting to deal with me because, you know, it's that repeat and referral business. If you're doing it the right way, then you don't get lumped in with all the other, you know, jackasses, basically.
So how do you feel like haggling when you
haggling? Like typically I don't have to a whole lot. I try to be really fair with my prices, but I don't have a problem with someone making me an offer. Obviously, it's way if they're gonna, and I'll share a quick experience. Yesterday, I don't know if he's in here, but there was a guy. If he's in here, raise your hand. No. So the guy comes around my table and he's like, stupid price, like, no joke. And I'm like,
yeah,
like the cheap stuff's over there. Like, if you don't want to pay for like all these CIB NES games, then the loose ones are over there. And like, if you don't like prices, just make an offer. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Worst I could say is no, and give you a counter offer. But on the flip side, like, there's a lot of people selling stuff that take it way too personally. Like, if a guy wants to make an offer, it's nothing personal. It's just a game. And if they want to make an offer, just say yes or no and make a counter offer. It's kind of cliche, but it's just business. Like, keep the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
At least the negative emotion. Like, you gotta be happy.
Be polite. Don't say what you'll give them for the item. Like, say, hey, would you be willing to? Are you firm on the price, or would you, stuff like that. People a lot of times they'll pick up an item, and they'll say, hey, man, I'll give you $3 for this or whatever. It's like, that's kind of like an attitude in a way. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not gonna make them want to sell that to you. If you say, hey, would you be willing to like work on the price with this, or are you firm on this? And that's a good way to haggle some items possibly. They'll be more likely willing to work with you if you come at them like that. I've seen a lot of people pick up items and like when they didn't get the offer they want, they just throw them down, and it's just very rude. So
yeah, I mean, if you really want to have success at conventions, and I've bought a lot at conventions, obviously, when I get away from the booth. But if you really want to have success, so some things that I would recommend, go up to the booth, introduce yourself. Talk to the person behind the counter, because you may not know them now, but next convention you're going to know them, and I guarantee you a personal relationship is going to get you a better deal. Shake their hand, say, hey, thanks for being here, whatever, tell them they have a cute smile, whatever it takes. I mean, and then you say, hey, if stuff's not priced, don't make a big deal out of it. It may piss you off, but you don't need to make a big deal out of it in front of people, because it's not going to get you anywhere. The fact is we all have lives, busy lives, and I've spent, probably 50 hours in the last week just pricing stuff, and not everyone can do that. And so if they didn't get to it, they didn't get to it. Like, don't give them such a hard time about it. Doesn't mean I don't believe that they shouldn't do it. Like, sure, having stuff priced on the table, that's the way to go. But yeah, introduce yourself. Ask them if they're flexible in their prices. Don't just pick up 7 or 8 items and walk around for 25 minutes. It's distracting. I mean, most people in here aren't going to steal anything, but it does happen every convention. So just say, hey, can you start a little pile for me behind there? Guarantee they're going to appreciate that, and when it comes to negotiating, all those things are going to add up into a better price for you guys.
All right. So does anybody have any questions so far?
What's up?
I just wanted to say, because, I mean, Josh and I have done thousands and thousands of dollars in the last just.
Big baller.
Well,
Pesos.
no, legit, and I think part of the reseller that you guys haven't really touched on is being fair on what you pay. Josh has come to me for some heavy hitter stuff that he needed to help somebody else out, but so much of the time, I find it 60-40 yard sell for $10. I know Josh is gonna give me 35. It's easier for me to do that and stockpile 10 and then ship a big box to Josh. And I
Don't
think
listen to them.
resellers that have the good reputation and the good connotation of reselling are the people like that are willing to, I mean, a game store's gonna pay 25% and Josh legit's gonna pay slightly more than that. If not way
Yeah,
more
like
than that, if it's something
26,
he needs.
7% for sure. I mean, the fact is that 90% of the resellers' inventory they're getting for dirt cheap. 10, 20%. Not because they're cheap. It's because people are coming to them and they're in a bind. They need money. They don't know what it's worth. Whatever the reason is, they found it on the street. They found it at a thrift store. Whatever it is, they're getting it really cheap. The flip side of it is when you have a personal relationship with someone, you have to be willing to pay more money and work for less, because not only are you helping out the guy that you're buying it from, you're helping out the next guy. Not all resellers feel like that's a good investment of their time or money. I do, because it's not all about the money, it's about the relationship. So I appreciate that.
Cool. Anybody else have any questions?
What's the worst you guys have been called as resellers?
Well, I wouldn't really repeat it. I mean, typically, reseller kind of covers it all. Like, it's like you're a used car salesman. Like, that just covers every bad thing you can.
Have you ever had like an experience where someone just like wigged out on you?
Oh yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had guys come into conventions, get upset, throw stuff down, like you curse word, and you just have to tell them leave. I mean, last year, no joke, there was a gentleman that came by the booth and actually got upset that the guy that was working with me called him sir, and it was like, really? Like, he's trying to be respectful. Some people just lose their lid over the littlest of things. Fortunately, I deal with, like I said, a lot of repeat and referral stuff, so there's some kind of relationship there, and so it's pretty easy to get along with people. That's it.
I have two questions that were kind of separate. Why do you think reselling video games has a negative connotation, but like reselling cars or other items that people own don't really have that same negative aspect?
So, well, I can answer both sides of that because I came from the car business, right? So I've been like dirty forever. So I think what happens, like everyone needs a car, right? Everyone needs transportation. It's something that they go into knowing they need it. Video games, people don't really need, they want. And when someone wants something, there's emotion involved. And people get, butthurt if they can't find what they want for the price they want and the time that they want. And they act like little children, quite frankly. And I think that there's some jealousy involved as well. People want to be that guy that finds the game for a tenth of its value. But the fact is those type of people generally aren't putting the hours in or the hard work in to get that game at that price, so they really shouldn't be upset. Like, there's a lot of guys in here that I recognize, and they're happy to pay me to go do the work for them. They have jobs, they have families, they have hobbies. They don't have the time to do it all. And I do, because I have no life.
My second question is, do you think like a lot of people don't realize that they are resellers? Because like most people that collect video games resell at one point. So wouldn't they be a
Well,
reseller?
I mean,
It could be for anybody, though.
well, the fact of the matter is, no one wants to be a reseller. I mean, there's some denial there because of the negative connotation that comes with reselling. But anytime you're trading something, you're putting a value on both sides. I mean, you're using it as currency. And so you're selling, you're reselling, you're retrading, you're whatever you want to call it, you're exchanging a form of value. It's not a big deal, guys. Like, it happens. You do it every day of your life, whether you're trading your time, your services, an item, any aspect of your lives. Like I said, it's not a big deal. What do you think?
I mean, like you said, everybody resells whether they realize it or not.
Yeah.
You have something, you don't want it anymore, either you trade it or resell it. But I think the video game world gets a bad rap because I don't know, man. I think it was around 2010, 2011. I saw a news report. It was about the stadium event selling for like $5,000, and like ever since that happened, everybody started looking through their stuff and they started treating video games like jewels. Like they could get a lot of money for them. So I think that's where it came from.
It's crazy though, because like, what's that, 10, 12 grand now?
Yeah.
Guess
pretty
what?
much.
Like, thanks news articles, thanks YouTubers. Like,
I know, right?
appreciate it, man. Like, no, I mean YouTube doesn't. They don't influence the market at all. It's all resellers.
But it's the thing with YouTube, and I try not to do this, is when you go out and you buy an item and you say you got it for so cheap and it's this rare item, that drives people crazy. They want it the same thing. I never really try to tell prices I pay for stuff because I might get stuff cheap, I might pay a lot for it, but I don't want them to get sick thinking I got everything cheap, because that drives them crazy because they want to do the exact same thing. They can't do it. That blood pressure starts to rise. So, I always, as a YouTuber, I try not to say prices unless it's a new game, possibly. And I think that's a good way to do it. Because if you go around buying games saying you bought them for cheap, people they lose their mind. And I've seen it.
It's actually really good advice. I mean, unless it's like your best friend or something, I mean, it just doesn't matter. Say you got a good deal on it. I mean, a good deal to one person is different to another person. Anytime you put a value on something, especially if you happen to sell it to that person or trade to that person, it's just not friendly, You don't need to tell them where you got it, your honey hole, whatever. You don't need to tell them what you paid for. You say you got a good deal from a good friend, whatever. I mean,
and keep it simple like that, because you tell them where you got it from, they're going to be there. They're going to be your new competition.
Yeah, I mean, heaven forbid you say, I got this and it's for my collection, and 2 years later you don't want it anymore. No, it wasn't for your collection. You're a reseller. You're bad. Right? Hey, I mean, can everyone relate to that? I mean, that's like 80% of my life.
Any more questions? You in the back?
Do you think that people just want someone they can blame because, it's not like...
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
They can't get a $3 contract.
Yeah.
And they just want somebody to blame for that, they can't get Super Metroid for $5 like they could in 2000.
Well, everyone can. You just have to do the work. I mean, that happens way more often than you think. It's all about putting the hours in, really. Find where the games are being sold and find out how often they're being sold, the consistency, and put yourself in that position, and it's going to happen. I'll be honest, I haven't found like incredible deals like, stadium events for cheap or anything like that. I mean, I've had killer deals, but it doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't matter. You don't need to find a $10,000 game for $1. Just, you don't need it. What, right here?
How do you think with the world going more digital, how is that going to start affecting sales as the older generation stuff gets even more rare?
So you're saying you feel like we're going into a more digital age?
As we progress, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're half and half in that, because there's a strong demand for physical releases. Companies like Limited Run have come out, and they're showing the demand people have for like physical media. So I think it's kind of half and half. As far as digital taking over,
It will.
yeah,
Let's
Dang,
be
I hate
honest.
to say that.
I mean, it's going to.
It will, but I don't think any time where we'll really care. You know what I mean? I think we'll have enough physical releases, until we're old folks. So.
Well, I my opinion on it is, I want my retro stuff physical.
Yeah.
But if I'm sitting at home at 11 o'clock on Saturday and like, Cuphead, I want to try this game out. Why not just pay the $20 and
It's
download it? And What's wrong with that? There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it. You're enjoying the game. It's not all about collecting. It's not all about gaming. It's not all about reselling. Like, there's got to be a balance. So, in my opinion, yeah, it's going to affect the gaming market in general. As far as it affecting the retro stuff, I don't think it's going to affect it as much as just people getting older and getting out of the hobby, as much as that will.
Do you think that, since physical and digital games coexist, do you think the digital should be slightly cheaper? So,
Well, yeah, I mean, it costs the company like how much less to make?
Yeah.
And do you really own it?
no.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother panel probably, but
It is, but that's one of the problems that people have with digital too, because they're the same price as a physical, and
Yeah.
just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, from a business standpoint, I wish I was in their shoes,
Yeah.
right? I mean, come on, like who wouldn't want to, charge $60 for a digital game? But so I get it. As a consumer, which we all are, it sucks, but it's just reality. Put your money where you want to support it. I mean, if you don't want to support it, don't buy it.
A question for Reggie. When do you think collecting turns into hoarding?
He's the one to ask. Sorry, Reggie.
It turns into hoarding when you start just buying games just to have them. You know what I mean? Like me personally, I get games that I want to play. I don't want to have anything that I don't like. And I think hoarding also is when you buy doubles and triples of certain games. I'm guilty of it. I always think like, oh man, what if this game breaks? I'll have this extra copy.
What if it breaks? Because it's happened never.
And that's never happened. None of my games have ever broken before. But it's just you just want to feel safe. Sometimes. But hoarding is I don't recommend it, but sometimes it's not bad, but just don't take it overboard where you walk into a room, you have like freaking 20 of a certain game fall on your face or something like that. That's crazy. So
The fact of the matter is that game collecting is addicting, right?
it is.
And so that's when it's an addiction. You want to find a complete set, you want to find a nicer condition, and you end up with doubles and triples and whatever because you're always trading, and then you're like, well, I don't want to get rid of it because then I might be a reseller, right? You don't want to do that, and then all of a sudden you have 10 copies of whatever the game is. But to be honest, if you can afford it, go for it. It's probably not healthy, but go for it. I mean, it's probably not going down in value. We've all seen the game prices going up, so it's better than putting $1 in a drawer for 10 years, right, Jeremy? Do you have a question?
Yeah, I did.
Sorry, he had. Oh, do you have one more
Well,
question?
I'm just gonna elaborate on it,
Yeah.
because I'm a film collector, so I got
Yeah.
Blu-rays, DVDs, Betamax, VHSs, all that stuff. And like my wife went crazy when she saw I had like 5 different versions of Rogue One, Best Buy. She was like, it's too much, But
That's what wives are good for, bud. Jeremy?
I was just gonna get your take on, in the world of resellers, there's people that treat it more professionally versus people that are just flipping. You'll
Yeah.
see some people will sell dirty merchandise that's not tested, and a professional takes more care of their product.
Yeah.
Do you think that's where a lot of the negative stigma is coming from, not from professionals?
Of course.
People just flipping the product.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's like I said, the guys that see other people have success, they want to have that success, and so they just do it how they know how to do it, which they don't, right? And so they just try to emulate what the hard work that the guys do, and they can't do it. They have, for whatever reason, and so they're just in it for that money. They're just flipping stuff. They don't care about it. They don't care about a relationship with the end user. And so, yeah, a lot of the professionals get treated away as just a garage sale guy. And actually, I moved recently, and we had a garage sale. 3 or 4 like 60-year-old guys, I swear they were 60 years old, came up and like, yeah, I'm gonna sell this on Amazon, and like, it's just like, really? Like, they had no idea like anything about it. They were just on their phone looking up Amazon, and even as me, like, that even pissed me off. And I like that's what I do, but come on, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of speaking to that, I was gonna say, it feels like a lot of it is less about reseller versus scalper and more like people that actually care about the industry or about, video games themselves versus people that are just jumping in for the cash or jumping in for the profit. Like, it reminds me a lot, and you guys might, it kind of parallels what was going on with like comic books in the early 90s, how there was like a fad of like people jumping in to just like sell like hot new titles or sell like,
Like when that Death of Superman came out,
yeah,
everybody's
or
trying
like
to jump on it.
Spider-Man 1, X-Men #1, like all the foil covers and everything. It was just like, oh, because people were jumping into the comic book market just to capitalize on that rush, but they weren't interested in comic books.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the kind of the disconnect is where there's people that care about video games as a form of entertainment, and then there's people that are just in it for the money.
Well, and that's, I mean, that, and don't take this the wrong way, but like the guys in the industry, I mean, you might get your feelings hurt that that's all they're doing, but like, is it that big a deal? Like, they want to jump in and make a few bucks. Like, it sucks for the guys in the industry, but they want to put the work in. They want to put the work in. I mean, because the professionalism is what sets people aside. The people in the industry or in the collecting market, it's terrible for them because the prices are going up, and you see that disconnect. Like it makes you upset that someone else is just profiting on something that you're passionate about, and so that sucks. Like I get it. I don't know. There's so much negativity around in the industry that for me, like I'm more the type of guy that's like, just whatever. Like, I don't have the time to be upset about it. It just ruins your life.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which of these do you think has more of an effect on the market? People that buy up games in general to resell them and put them back into circulation, or people that'll buy things to, put it on a shelf and then it's out of the market forever?
Is that for? I can answer it.
Oh, well, when you said that, what came to mind is like I don't really shop at GameStop, but I notice when I do go in there, they'll pull certain games out and then wait until they become more expensive and then throw them back out there.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's like price manipulation. I know they did that with Xenoblade Chronicles.
That was the first, yeah.
I'm more thinking like Nintendo titles that have billions of copies out there.
Right.
It's not that easy to find one just to pick up because when people like them, they keep it.
But yeah, I mean, it all comes down to everyone wants to enjoy this stuff, right? If you get enjoyment out of gaming, then find a way to game. If you want to enjoy the industry as a collector, then find a way to enjoy it as a collector. As far as the price goes, I mean, just from a strictly economical perspective, yeah, if it's sitting on a shelf, not in the market, then that's going to affect it. But we're talking millions of games. Is how many guys are in the industry that are really going to affect it? I think it. Just the fact that things are getting older and older and just breaking, getting lost, for whatever reason, there's just less available. I think that affects pricing more than just a guy putting on the shelf.
And another thing, if that happens, and there's not a lot out there you're looking for, there are other ways to play these games because we are gamers first. You know what I mean?
Some of us.
There's ways out there to play these games and enjoy them, just as like you owned them. So,
Yeah, I mean, and a big part of the reason I brought Reggie here was to give a little balance to the panel, right? Because he's a gamer. I enjoy games. I don't have time to play games very much, or I don't take the time to play them as often as I would like. But yeah, there's definitely different ways to play games. There's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. And just you gotta find a way to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if you can enjoy it by just playing the game and not having 10 copies of it, then go for it.
Oh, we're getting more hands now. Shane?
What was the reaction of your family and people around you when you decided to go in this business full time?
I thought I was an idiot. But the good thing is they thought my brothers were idiots first. So I have two younger brothers that actually influenced me. We actually took a vacation, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and they had been they were collecting, and then they started selling a little bit. And I swear, every 5 or 10 minutes, they're yelling "sold," because you keep getting these Amazon notifications. And I actually made fun of them myself. I'm like, "Dude, you're not making any money. That's like a $10 game," and then it adds up, right? So my family, I was already a dirty car salesman. Like, might as well just sell something else. As far as my like wife and kids, they trust me. They know I'm gonna make, the best decision I can for the family. And so that's all that really matters. They support me with it. My wife's here. She has a good time. She's not really a gamer, but she likes to like look at people and say, "Hey, look at that one. Look at that." I mean, look at that costume. Or, yeah, she enjoys. Like, you guys provide her some entertainment. You guys are such nerds. Like, how many times does she say that? Not to me as well. Like, I'm lumping myself in there. She definitely makes fun of me all the time.
All right, Crazy Joe.
We got nothing. Yeah, green hat.
For somebody who's just starting to really collect games, what would you say, outside of personal relationships, is the healthiest market for buying or for selling games you have copies of?
The healthiest market, like the easiest place to buy and sell?
I guess, yeah, that creates like the least amount of issues.
Well, there's always issues. I mean, if you obviously,
Like,
are you like,
you're saying like the safest place to resell stuff?
Like-
Well, I'm thinking more about buying. So like amongst all the different online markets or nearby markets, like Facebook just started up and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any experience with like what would be the least
Hostile?
the best way to buy games locally?
well,
Well, you said locally?
there's not a lot of,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just starting to collect, then I would, focus your collecting on something. Pick a handful of genres or series or something to collect for, and then hit up all the markets and see, where you can get the best deal. But eventually it's going to come back down to a relationship. If you want to have healthy back and forth, find some people that you can trust, that give good deals. That might be on Facebook, that might be on Amazon, that might be on eBay, that might be in person at a convention, but eventually it's going to come down to a relationship. And those are the things that are going to last. Did that answer your question? I was a little bit confused on that, but yeah. 2 more questions, and then I'm going to give some stuff away. Right here.
Who do you think is to blame for scalpers? Do you think it's the scalpers themselves, the buyers, or the manufacturers?
Yes.
I personally think it's the buyers. I mean, if people aren't going to buy what scalpers are putting out there, they have no power, really. You know what I mean? So,
But
that's. I don't know.
But here's the thing:
That's
is
how I feel about
the
it.
blame is like, what do you mean by blame? Like, who cares if someone wants to scalp something? I
True.
mean, if you have someone that wants to, I mean, it's uncomfortable, it's awkward that they're doing it, it's annoying. But if there's also another guy that has the expendable income and wants something, and they're providing that service for them, even though it's not a service we all agree with, there's obviously some blame all the way around. It sucks that companies short their product for whatever reason, on purpose or by accident or whatever. It's good that there's a demand for it, because that's how we get more stuff. And they have to balance the demand versus supply. I don't always agree with how they do that, but there's definitely some blame all the way around. Answer your question at all, or just talk around it?
You're really good at beating that.
Thank you, I appreciate that. All right, one more question. You already answered. You already asked the question.
I have a really good one.
All right, last one.
So as a reseller, like, you've seen the way that the market has gone over the last few years with
Yeah.
price trending, price spikes, sometimes 6 or 12 months, said game might double or triple in value. Do you ever speculate certain games that you feel are undervalued and buy up certain amounts of copies to hold on to until they've possibly caught up to where the perceived rarity is?
Do you have something?
I mean, you could be waiting like 25 years later for something.
Well, in the short term, obviously, I buy stuff to resell, and I speculate on it in the short term. But I certainly wouldn't advise people to speculate on games as an investment long term. It just, it's
You never know where it's going to go.
yeah. There's too many other world factors that are going to influence people and how they spend their money. Because the fact is it shouldn't be the first priority for us. So if economies start changing, then people are going to have less money to spend on the important items or the perceived important items, and it's also going to trickle into their hobbies. But as far as short term goes, if I bought a game today that I thought was going to be worth more at Christmas, yeah, I probably wouldn't buy 20 or 30, but in the short term, yeah, you have to make a little bit of a business decision there. I don't do it with the intention or the audacity of thinking that my 20 games is going to change the market.
No, and I'm not
But-
getting at cornering the market or anything.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to reduce the inventory. I guess, just looking at a game that, there's certain cheap games that have been hard for me to find, and all of a sudden I'll run across 3, and it's like, do I maybe pick these up for trade bait or something like that? Like, the rarity versus value doesn't line up sometimes, at least for what I perceive. So do you ever pick things up thinking that, hey, maybe people
Sure.
realize this is a lot harder to come across and
Yeah,
hold on to it for a short period of time to see if the value catches up with the rarity?
I do that in a very educated way. I keep track of the markets pretty closely, so I don't pick up games with just like, oh, I hope this game goes up. But there's definitely some games that right now, if I was on the sales floor, I would pick up because I know that they're going to be more money in 2 months. And I don't want to tell you what those games are.
Good.
What are those games?
I mean, as long as you bring them to my booth, then I'll tell you. I mean, obviously, anything Nintendo, Mario is gonna be good around Christmas. Probably Battlefront 2, right? Older Battlefront 2 is gonna spike around Christmas. With the new game. You never know though. Smash Bros. Melee, it's always worth $30 more at Christmas because of the inventory. And it's nothing that like me in Portland is gonna really affect, but it runs out of inventory on Amazon or eBay every year on December 20 or 13th, 14th. I mean, so yeah, you might pick up a few extras, but I'm not gonna dump, thousands of dollars into it.
All right.
We got like 10
we're-
minutes.
Yeah, we got around 10 minutes, so we got to start the other part of the show.
Well, did you have something you were gonna do first, and then?
I was going to say, hey, just a shout out to Jeremiah Grimwood for coming down. Appreciate you, man. Jared, they came far. Yeah, go ahead. You hear the clap?
Yeah.
Been trying to get them down for a while, and they finally made it. So awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this is by far the best show that I attend
Yeah.
every year. I've been coming here for quite a while now.
Yeah,
actually, that's where we met.
Yeah,
right?
we met here, and I've been coming since 2011, and yeah, now I'm on a panel, so this is pretty
Yeah.
awesome, surreal.
We
So-
met online dating. So no, it's a good show. It seems to
Definitely.
get a little better every year. We had a blast at the auction last night. I don't know if you guys have ever, if you haven't attended the auction, do so next year. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, it's a good show. People from all around the country, all around the world really come and bring their suitcases and buy stuff and have a good time.
Yeah, bring an empty suitcase when you come to this show. 'Cause
Well, just empty it at my booth first. Yeah, and I think we have quick minute on that. There's nothing wrong with bringing stuff to trade at shows. Not many people do it. They don't want to lug stuff around, but where else are you going to find a place where there's 75 vendors that want your stuff? It's a good place. I had quite a few customers, trade some stuff in to me, and we were able to work out, agreeable deals. So if you do come to a show with trade, have an idea what you want for it, have an idea what you want to get in exchange for it, and it should go well.
Yep.
So you have one more thing to say?
No, that's all I got. I'm ready for the next part.
What's the next part?
We are going to be giving away some prizes for you guys. So you guys excited for that?
Yeah.
All right. So I totally forgot how we were going to do this.
Did you bring something?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so this is what I set up. Early this morning, I came in here and hid some numbers. Yeah, so I have 10 items that I was going to give away. I'm a big believer in giving back to the people that support you. So I really appreciate you guys being here. It means a lot to me. I know it does to Reggie as well. So underneath your chairs,
they're already looking.
There are some numbers taped on there.
Oh my God, I wish I got a picture of this.
Okay, if you don't have one, then, okay, so there's 8 numbers. There's 2 business cards. Yeah. If you have a business card, then you're probably going to be extremely happy. If you just got a number, you'll just be pretty happy. Okay?
Otherwise, you'll be happy either way.
So, there should be 10 total. So they're going to be numbered 1 through 8. Now, all right, settle down now, settle down.
They're still looking under the seats, but every seat.
So, all right, hold up your hand if you have one. Let's make sure they're all accounted for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 12, okay. Yeah. All right, so we've got 10 lucky winners. Was there 11? The 11th one gets a date with Reggie. He is single. No, so, what was that?
Who's paying?
Well, clearly you guys would. This is Radical Reggie. So I have 8 items up here on the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from left to right. If you have those numbers, you can just come up and get your prizes. 1 through 8, and then the 2 business cards I have behind the.
Yeah, we'll wait till we get these guys first.
You're 1.
I'm on.
All right.
You got the GameCube, Resident Evil, GameStop, exclusive.
Dude, I was
Number
looking
2
for
is
that.
here, the MVS cart. Oh, thanks, Nathan. The Trog's the last one. So 3, yeah, I think it's this one and that one. What's this? Number 4?
You had 5?
Cheated. Number 5 is these wireless NES controllers,
There you go.
aka Lunchbox. So I need to give a shout out to my good friend Mikey.
What number did you get?
I dig it.
My friend Mikey runs Rogue Toys here in Portland. I don't know if anyone knows Mikey. So Rogue Toys, we got a little confusion
Which
here.
one's it?
I can't see. So, no. Yeah. So his Genesis was the second to last one. Isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
So Mikey over at Rogue Toys gave me 2 items to give away. This Genesis complete in box and the Mario board game. I don't think he was able to attend, but he wanted me to give some stuff away and say thanks to everyone. So if you had a business card, grab the business card.
Whoa.
Okay. How are we going to do this? So, anyone have a coin on them? Sure. Someone flip a coin. You guys, someone call heads or tails. Alex?
I'll let him.
Let him, okay?
What's a dollar? There we go.
Okay, is it real? Can I see a board pick, please?
All right, tails.
I don't think that flipped even
Heads
once. Okay. Heads up gets first choice. Come on up here. So these are the last two prizes. So we'll give away this Super Mario Galaxy, or
We're gonna do those.
Super Nintendo Classic.
Oh, he's deciding. Okay.
Now you can resell this.
He's on an airplane.
3,
Yeah, I'll take
2.
I knew.
Total reseller. I know this.
But why don't you let Reggie know, let him know how much I'm selling you potentially one of these for?
That's right.
Yeah,
For retail.
$180.
No.
No.
Right on, I'm happy.
All right. Yeah.
There you go, man.
You're welcome.
So,
So just in closing, what was that? So, of course, since I am a dirty reseller, my booth number 605, just to the left of the main entrance. I brought a complete NES, just about a complete NES set yesterday. It's been picked through pretty well, but there's still about, 1,100 NES games to pick. So check it out. Anyone that was here gets automatic 10% off any of their purchase. So just mention that, and I don't care how much you spend, 10% off. I'm doing also for every transaction, without abusing it, you're gonna get a raffle ticket, and at the end of the show, I'm gonna do another like mystery box that you don't have to be present for. I'll just ship it to you for free wherever you live. Thanks, guys.
yeah, thanks everybody for showing up. We appreciate it.